Hello everyone, and welcome to SUNUP. I'm Lyndall Stout. We join you today from the North Central Research Station at Lahoma, where our colleagues are looking at the benefits of cover crops. Joining us now is Jason Warren, OSU's Extension Soil Conservation Specialist. And Jason, just give us an idea of what you and your team have set up in this field.
Well, in this particular study, we're looking at nitrogen recovery from a summer cover crop in a wheat production system. And just to back up, cover crops they're getting a lot of interest from producers for a variety of reasons. But we're trying to find where they fit in Oklahoma crop production. And the first thing we want to look at is a continuous wheat cropping system under no-till conditions. And one of the benefits, or most evident benefits, is nitrogen. There's a rule of thumb that for every pound of nitrogen in this above ground biomass, you'll get a half a pound of nitrogen to the following crop. But there's a lot of uncertainty about that number. And so what we've done, and there's uncertainty based on the weather conditions after we terminate the legume. There's uncertainty as to the rate of decomposition of this legume based on what it is. So this is cowpea, it's a beautiful stand of cowpea. Back behind us we have a nice stand of a mixture of sun hemp and cowpea and mung bean. Then we have different mixtures of grasses and legumes. So we want to know how each of these cover crop mixtures influence the nitrogen dynamics of the following crop.
And this is set up with a continuous
wheat system, yes.
Okay.
We do also have some efforts looking at different cover crop systems and different rotations, but the primary is looking at the continuous wheat. We also, and continuous wheat and then and rotations of wheat and canola, because you've got that long fallow period in the summertime where we're losing water anyway, so why not utilize it through the plant? Because right here, you look at this, very little water is evaporating from this plot. Now the same, or if not a little bit more water, is being extracted from the soil in this plot versus just a fallow area, but there's no evaporation. And to me, evaporation is wasted water, where here it's transpiration. It's coming through the plant leaf and making nitrogen for us, or biomass in the case of the grasses.
Let's go look at where you've added canola in the mix too. So what do you have set up here?
Well, this study is a rotational study looking at the inclusion of cover crops in a wheat rotation, continuous wheat versus a rotation of wheat and canola. And so this plot here, this last winter, this was planted to canola. We had a marginal canola crop, but in general, canola doesn't provide us a lot of residue for the following crop. And in our no-till systems, we like to have a lot of residue going into our when we plant. And so we've planted this Sorghum-sudan mixed with sun hemp, and then there's some cowpea in here as well. So the grass will provide us the recovery of residue, and then the legumes, the sun hemp and the cowpea, they'll provide the nitrogen to offset the nitrogen that this grass is taking up. And so we'll kill this, we'll terminate this cover today, and then in a month we'll be planting wheat in here. And then if you come over here, you can see, of course, this is our fallow plot where we're just chemically fallowing the wheat crop. And then when we get to this plot, this was wheat, and we planted a mixture of millet and cowpea in here. But then we also have a treatment that we mowed off or hayed off the millet prior to the termination. And we think this might be an option for canola producers, where we can plant that cover, remove its biomass, and then have a nice condition to plant canola in. But we'll also look at the unharvested condition as well on canola. And then lastly, we have a plot down here where this is a continuous wheat system. And in this, we just want to get nitrogen with some level of residue maintenance. So we've planted sun hemp, cowpea, and mung bean, but we're really excited to see how these inclusions of the cover crop influence the nitrogen requirement for the cash crop, the yield potential of the cash crop, and the soil moisture dynamics for the cash crop. You don't want to do something that's going to extract all your water for the sake of producing nitrogen and not have enough to grow your cash crop. But the idea is all this additional residue will protect any rain we get from the day we terminate it until the day we plant the cash crop.
So as producers are considering this and looking at these techniques specifically, you really need to keep everything up to date in terms of government programs as well. Can you address that?
Certainly. Yeah, there's been a lot of rule changes, and both from crop insurance perspective, your FSA office, you certainly want to talk to both of those groups. Now, the NRCS has kind of launched a soil health initiative, and cover crops are a part of that. And so there's pretty significant EQIP payments that you can get as incentives to try out cover crops. It also plays a pretty significant role in how you rank for CSP, the CSP program, or Conservation Stewardship Program. So you want, before you know, if you're considering using cover crops, you certainly want to talk to your Conservation District Office, your crop insurance agent, and your FSA folks, just to make sure that what you have planned ties into what you've got going on both your risk management and other incentive programs that you might be involved in.
Okay, great information. Thanks for sharing your research with us.
Yep, thanks.
Jason Warren, OSU's Extension Soil Conservation Specialist.